Time was, ere yet in these degenerate days ignoble themes obtain mistaken praise, when sense and wit with poesy allied, no fabled graces, flourished side by side, from the same fount their inspiration drew, and, reared by taste, bloomed fairer as they grew. Then, in this happy isle, a pope's pure strain sought the rapt soul to charm, nor sought in vain, a polished nation's praise aspirate to claim, and race the people's, as the poet's fame. Like him great Dryden poured the tide of song, in stream less smooth, indeed, yet doubly strong than Congreve's scenes could cheer, or Otway's melt for nature than an English audience felt. But why these names, or greater still, retrace, when all to feebler bards resigned their place? Yet to such times our lingering looks are cast, when taste and reason with those times are past. Now look around, and turn each trifling page, survey the precious works that please the age. This truth at least let satire's self allow. No dearth of bards can be complained of now. The loaded press beneath her labor groans, and printers' devils shake their weary bones, while Southey's epics cram the creaking shelves, and Little's lyrics shine in hot-pressed twelves. Thus saith the preacher, naught beneath the sun is new, yet still from change to change we run, what varied wonders tempt us as they pass. The cowpocks, tractors, galvanism and gas, in turns appear, to make the vulgar stare, till the swollen bubble bursts and all is air. Nor less new schools of poetry arise, where dull pretenders grapple for the prize, or taste a while these pseudo-bards prevail. Each country book club bows the knee to Baal, and, hurling lawful genius from the throne, erects a shrine and idol of its own, some leaden calf but whom it matters not, from soaring Southey down to grovelling Stott. Behold! In various throngs the scribbling crew, for notice eager, pass in long review, each spurs his jaded Pegasus apace, and rhyme and blank maintain an equal race. Sonnets on sonnets crowd, and ode on ode, and tales of terror jostle on the road. Immeasurable measures move along, for simpering folly loves a varied song, to strange mysterious dullness still the friend, admires the strain she cannot comprehend. Thus lays of minstrels may they be the last, on half-strung harps whine mournful to the blast. While mountain spirits brat to river sprites, that dames may listen to the sound at nights, and goblin brettes, of gilping horners brood, decoy young border nobles through the wood, and skip at every step, Lord knows how high, and frighten foolish babes, the Lord knows why, while high-born ladies in their magic cell, forbidding knights to read who cannot spell, dispatch a courier to a wizard's grave, and fight with honest men to shield a knave. Next view in state, proud prancing on his roan, the golden-crested haughty Marmion, now forging scrolls, now foremost in the fight, not quite a felon, yet but half a knight, the gibbet or the field prepared to grace, a mighty mixture of the great and base. And think'st thou, Scott, by vain conceit perchance, on public taste to voice thy stale romance, though Murray with his Miller may combine to yield thy muse just half a crown per line? No. When the sons of song descend to trade, their bays are sere, their former laurels fade. Let such forego the poet's sacred name, who rack their brains for lucre, not for fame, still for stern mammon may they toil in vain, and sadly gaze on gold they cannot gain. Such be their meed, such still the just reward of prostituted muse and hireling bard. For this we spurn Apollo's venal son, and bid a long good night to Marmion. These are the themes that claim our plaudits now, these are the bards to whom the muse must bow, while Milton, Dryden, Pope, alike forgot, resign their hallowed bays to Walter Scott. The time has been, when yet the muse was young, when Homer swept the lyre, and Mero sung, an epic scarce 10 centuries could claim, while awestruck nations held the magic name. The work of each immortal bard appears the single wonder of 1,000 years. Empires have mouldered from the face of earth, tongues have expired with those who gave them birth, without the glory such a strain can give, as even in ruin bids the language live. Not so with us, though minor bards, content on one great work a life of labor spent, with eagle pinion soaring to the skies, behold the ballad monger Southey rise. To him let Camoens, Milton, Tasso yield, whose annual strains, like armies, take the field. First in the ranks see Joan of Arc advance, the scourge of England and the boast of France. Though burnt by wicked Bedford for a witch, behold her statue placed in glory's niche, her fetters burst, and just released from prison, a virgin phoenix from her ashes risen. Next see tremendous Thalaba come on, Arabia's monstrous, wild and wondrous son, Dom Daniel's dread destroyer, who o'erthrew more mad magicians than the world e'er knew. Immortal hero! All thy foes o'ercome, forever reign the rival of Tom Thumb. Since startled meter fled before thy face, well wert thou doomed the last of all thy race. Well might triumphant genii bear thee hence, illustrious conqueror of common sense. Now, last and greatest, Maddox spreads his sails, Gossique in Mexico, and Prince in Wales, tells us strange tales, as other travelers do, more rolled than Mandeville's, and not so true. O Southey! Southey! Cease thy varied song. A bard may chant too often and too long, as thou art strong in verse, in mercy, spare. A fourth, alas! Were more than we could bear. But if, in spite of all the world can say, thou still wilt verseward plod thy weary way, if still in Berkeley ballads most uncivil, thou wilt devote old women to the devil, the babe unborn thy dread intent may rue, God help thee, Southey, and thy readers too. Next comes the dull disciple of thy school, that mild apostate from poetic rule, the simple Wordsworth, framer of a lay as soft as evening in his favourite May, who warns his friend to shake off toil and trouble, and quit his books, for fear of growing double, who, both by precept and example, shows that prose is verse, and verse is merely prose, convincing all, by demonstration plain, poetic souls delight in prose insane, and Christmas stories tortured into rhyme contain the essence of the true sublime. Thus, when he tells the tale of Betty Foy, the idiot mother of an idiot boy, a moonstruck, silly lad, who lost his way, and, like his bard, confounded night with day, so close on each pathetic part he dwells, and each adventure so sublimely tells, that all who view the idiot in his glory conceive the bard the hero of the story. Shall gentle Coleridge pass unnoticed here, to turgid ode and tumid stanza dear? Though themes of innocence muse him best, yet still obscurity's a welcome guest. If inspiration should her age refuse to him who takes a pixie for a muse, yet none in lofty numbers can surpass the bard who soars to elegize an ass. So well the subject suits his noble mind, he braves the laurea of the long-eared kind.